Iowa at USC, all right? USC, 6.5-point favorite in the Coliseum, 3:30 Eastern, Big Ten Network now, all right? Now, USC, they're in playoff mode. You lose another game if you're USC, you are not playing games in the month of December. Pretty straightforward. Iowa, you just lost a heartbreaker to Oregon at your place. Spoiler mode, baby. Can we get up off the mat? Can we find some juice? Can we find some disdain internally for that other team, that other logo that comes into your conference now, a fair weather team that comes into your conference? Can you go to their place and make a statement and have a character level win? I'm excited to see it. Now, for USC, I think they're going to force Iowa to play their style of ball. I think USC is going to do a phenomenal job in the screen game. I think it'll be Jacoby Lane, Mekhi Lemon. They're going to do a phenomenal job forcing the tempo on this Iowa offense to keep pace. Now, Iowa, even though they didn't have a great showing last week offensively, still scoring over 30 points a game, all the Hawkeyes. So this is not your mom and dad's Iowa. This is a team that maybe can't win in a shootout, but they're going to have a little bit more horsepower than Iowa's had historically. They're not a laughing matter when it comes to the 25 points a game and that whole deal that was happening a couple years ago of what Iowa had to get to keep their OC. Different Iowa, different spot. Tim Lester doing a great job calling that show over there with A1 Mark Gronowski. There's two crucial matchups I'm watching in this game. Matchup number one, Jaden Maiava, quarterback for USC, against Phil Parker, DC for Iowa. Hey, Iowa, they had Dante Moore's number a little bit last weekend now, man. I know it was bad conditions, but there was a couple plays where you're like, hey, Iowa, yeah, they're good on the back end personnel-wise, but that interception that Dante Moore threw in the end zone, that was a scheme win in my mind. That was a Phil Parker dialing it up kind of win, just confusing the young quarterback. Jaden Maiava, as good as he's been this year, the knock on him coming into the season was dude's a little bit of a gunslinger now, all right? He'll take some chances with the football. If you take some chances against Iowa and you're wrong, give them back the football. Maybe Iowa gets to control the clock a little bit. Jaden Maiava gets less possessions. That would be a world where USC leaves the Coliseum with an L. Now, if Jaden Maiava is out here just diagnosing like a doctor and delivering like a midwife, then we got a different story on our hands. And Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane probably having a good day at the respective office. Now, matchup number two I'm watching. The Iowa run game against the USC defense. USC, this is what you signed up for when you came to the Big Ten. You signed up for playing teams in Iowa that when you think about them, you think about neck rolls, think about smelling salts, you think about fullbacks, you think about running the freaking ball. Iowa is going to look into your soul for 4 quarters and find out if you really want to stop the run. We've talked about it for the last couple of months about USC. With how they're getting better on the defensive side of the ball. That front seven, they're improving. Okay, those are fun to talk about. What happens when you lock the gates and you got the Hawkeyes for 4 quarters? You got to tackle Mark Gronowski on the quarterback design run. Are you really about that life? Because if you're not, we'll find out in this game. I promise you we'll find out in this game. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Iowa, this is who you are. USC, that's kind of been the question about them, right? I just gave you that whole spiel about USC. Are you up for it? Neck rolls, this, that, and the other. Iowa, you have to be able to take advantage of this potential advantage for you. Like if you're going to win this game, you have to stick to your script and play your style of ball, okay? We'll see if that happens. Hey, random thought here for you, though. I mentioned the Iowa run game. What about the USC run game? Because Oregon's ran for 261 against Iowa at their place in a terrible weather kind of game. It's going to be a clear game, it looks like here. 0% chance of precipitation at the Collie. Should be better footing for a one King Miller running downhill. I don't think you see USC go for 261 and 7 a carry like Oregon did, but I do think now it's in play to assume that USC could get something going on the ground, which then in turn could make for some real estate downfield, which for Jaden Maiava and that receiving core, if there's real estate downfield, we're scoring a lot of points. And that's not a good life to live here if you're the Iowa Hawkeyes making that trip out to the Collie. Now, for Mark Gronowski, quarterback for Iowa, you just need to have the good in-law approach to this game. In-laws, I say it a lot, man. You don't need to be the life of the party. You don't need to make all the funny jokes. You don't need to be the story of the holiday dinner whenever you're leaving that Thanksgiving or that Christmas or whatever. You just got to be timely. Hey, dishes, I'm there. Hey, mother-in-law needs some help with taking food to the table, I'm on that. Mark Gronowski, 3rd and 6, we just need that, brother. Just convert timely plays. I don't need you throwing the ball around the yard. keeping pace with Jaden Maiava, I need you to extend drives because Iowa wins this game by obviously keeping USC somewhat at bay offensively, but that is much more easy when that USC offense isn't on the field. If we look up here at the end of the game and it's like 38 minutes time of possession favoring Iowa, okay, we got a shot here, Hawkeyes. So I mentioned the game flow here. Does Iowa get a chance to jump early on USC and make it, call it 10-3, maybe it's 13-3, I don't know. Does Iowa get a chance to get leverage in this spot, get USC in that sleeper hold, and then just anaconda squeeze? Is that the game we could see here? Because that's the game that Iowa would have a way to win. Low scoring, rock fight, kind of like you had last week against Oregon, except I think you would have a better chance at winning this style of game because of the trenches for USC. I don't think they're up the caliber that Oregon is. So Iowa, do you get a chance to apply pressure and, quite frankly, choke USC out? That would favor you, obviously. Now for USC, if they get up 10 and Iowa has to become the sumo wrestler trying to run a track meet with you, then all bets are off. I think the weather is on the side of USC here. I think also that game for Iowa against Oregon is a little bit fugazi, not knocking the Hawkeyes, but like there were a lot of things that favored Iowa that made that game as close as it was. Oregon was down two of their best playmakers. The weather itself did not favor the Oregon passing game. I told you, 0% precipitation for this game in Los Angeles. All right. USC also, to my knowledge, no, knock on wood here, no injuries to any of their playmakers at this point in time. So you should be dealing with a pretty healthy lineup for the old Cardinal and Gold out there. I think USC wins. I think USC scores. I think USC plays their style of game. I think Iowa is frisky early in the same way and kind of gives them a little bit of something to think about at halftime, but I think USC pulls away. The weapons, the firepower is too much. USC wins. USC covers. Final score, USC 27, Iowa 20. And USC now, looking down the barrel of a game against Oregon, potentially some very massive college football playoff implications when that game arrives. Stay tuned for that. But USC wins. USC covers at home.